Hi guys, and welcome to another book review video. I'm cold. Do y'all mind that I'm wrapped in a blanket while I'm doing this video? I hope not, because I'm just being a little too lazy to get up and go get a jacket, if I'm totally honest. I have enjoyed a book, I don't know if it's by the same author or not, but the cover looks the same. I don't know if this is a series or not, but anyway, these books are so much fun for me because I like to get my hands involved. I like to work with my hands as a stress relief because mainly most of the work that I do is using a lot of brain power as a therapist, as a social worker, as an author, an editor, a publisher. So much of the work that I do is in my head, and so just to have a break from that, I love to do things with my hands, which might be why I have so many side hobbies that all include using my hands, such as making jewelry, making slime. Lately I've been really enjoying doing engineering type projects, some robotics type things, and so when I saw this book offered to me available for review, I accepted it because it says experiments in the title. That's right up my alley. It's 50 STEAM projects that you can eat. It says 50 education and edible science experiments you can do at home. The price for this book is $14.99 US dollars. It says it's for all skill levels, whether it's your first time experimenting in the kitchen or you've already got lots of cooking experience. This book of tasty experiments is for you. I'm not seeing where it gives an age limit or like an age range. Right, chapter 1 says let's dig in. Chapter 2, how to use this book. Chapter 3 is science, and there's several experiments in it. So let's go ahead and take a look at something in chapter 3. Alright. Sweet science, strawberry jam. So there's a picture of a little girl mashing up some strawberries, and let's take a look at what it says. Alright, the level of difficulty is medium. The mess rating is minor. Best eaten for breakfast or snack. Prep time, 10 minutes to remove strawberry leaves and stems. Full time, about an hour, and it makes about 1 quart of jam. Food scientists use special chemicals called thickening agents to give jams and jellies the texture we love. Are there enough natural thickening agents in strawberries to make all-natural strawberry jam? So that sounds like, that just brings to mind like a science experiment, like when you're in school and you're participating in the science fair, they want you to have, the question of what you're trying to answer, or the conclusion you're trying to come to with your experiment. And so apparently with this particular project you are making strawberry jam, and it ties in the scientific hows and whys of why this is happening. Alright, and chapter 4 is technology. Let's take a look at one of these out of here. Alright, it says that the Chapter 4 experiments involve advanced technologies, so they are the more advanced in this book. It says you may need a little extra parental supervision to complete each experiment safely, but don't let that stop you. Alright, so the very first one in here is about bioluminescence, and it's called Let It Glow, Bioluminescence in Your Kitchen, and it looks like it is using Jello and tonic water, and then you shine a black light through each color of Jello. So apparently tonic water has quinine in it, and quinine glows under a black light. And so the quinine is reflecting ultraviolet light from the black light as a visible glowing light. And the ultraviolet light looks different when reflected through different colors of Jello. Alright, and then it said at the end of it, there's like a way, it says turn it up. Although your bioluminescent Jello is edible, you may have noticed a bitter taste. Tonic water has a bitter flavor, How could you alter this experiment to make glowing jello that tastes better? It doesn't say how. I guess you're just supposed to figure that out. Alright, chapter 5 is engineering. Let's take a look at it. And the first one I turned to in this section says Sneaky Zucchini, Imitation Apple Pie. And it says the level of difficulty is advanced. Now, I know that there's a lot of like imitation meat products for those who want to be vegan but enjoy the taste or the texture of meat, such as like the Impossible Burger. So I don't know why someone would want to substitute an apple for a zucchini to make an apple pie, but still an interesting experiment. Okay, in the hows and why section of this, it's explaining, why this particular project or experiment, and it says, as food scientists, we can use the power of spices to trick our senses. When we taste cinnamon, nutmeg, lemon, and sugar, we think of apple pie, even if there aren't any apples in our dessert. So the whole point of doing imitation foods in a recipe would be normally to make something healthier. And I assume, I don't know if a zucchini is really healthier than an apple. I mean, an apple's pretty healthy on its own. But I certainly understand the concept of substituting one product for something else to make it healthier, to make it a healthier food choice. And I think this is a neat little experiment to help children understand how that works, how and why it works. So that's cool. Alright, the next category of projects is art. And just to take a look at one that I turned to, Stained Glass Wonders, Color Swirl Candy. You're making candy glass with just sugar and water and I guess food coloring. I don't know if the camera's clear enough for you to see that page or not, but it's talking about the science of sugar. Sugar is a combination of biology, chemistry, and physics, because sugar comes from living things. Alright, the next chapter is mathematics, and that's the last of the sections in here. Right, and on the chapter section of the mathematics, imagine trying to make a batch of macaroni and cheese without knowing how much milk to add. I do that all the time, but anyway, I understand what they're saying, that, cooking involves a lot of measuring, which in measuring involves some math, so I'm sure it has more math in here than just measuring out the ingredients to cook with. So here's one, Godzilla Gummies, and it's about osmosis. And of course, the first thing that comes to my mind is making drunk gummy bears, which is when you put them soaking in vodka. They swell up and they soak the vodka in, and then you eat them. But of course, they're not going to put a vodka-soaked gummy bear recipe in a book that's made for children. But in this one, you're using one that's just water, one that's slightly sugary water, one that's very sugary water, and then one that's juice. And you're putting the gummy bears in there and seeing which one absorbs more of the water. And it says each solution has more water and less sugar than the gummy bears. The water went into the gummy bears to balance out the amount of water and sugar between the bears and the solution. The solution with the least sugar is the most hypotonic. The movement of water into or out of living things is called osmosis. So this one is explaining hands-on what osmosis is. I think this is really cool. I'm not sure that everything in here is 100% something that someone would want to eat for a snack, because I've looked through them and they're not all... I mean, yeah, you can technically eat all of them, but some of them are not necessarily something that you would want to eat. For instance, this one has a picture of a nut sticking in a raw piece of potato. In this experiment, you will create fires using nut oil as your fuel, and so you're testing which one burns the best, an almond, a peanut or a pecan, and so you're doing that with each one. Well, you don't end up eating this. You're not eating the burnt nuts or the raw potato. At the end of this one, you are instructed that you can eat whichever nuts you didn't burn. So that's just an example of how not all of them in here are technically edible experiments themselves. Because, like I just said, you wouldn't want to eat a raw piece of potato or a burnt nut that you just lit on fire. But you can eat the nuts that you have left over. But still, it's a really cute way of getting children involved in science and also involved in cooking in the kitchen. So if you have a child that is not interested in cooking at all, but maybe they're interested in science, maybe this would help get them a little more interested in what goes on in the kitchen. If nothing else, it's a great bonding time for you and your child, and I think would be an excellent book for you to use with children that you are homeschooling, if that's your thing. And if you have a classroom where some of this stuff is possible, if you're a teacher, another great way to use this. But I can see this being a book that just a parent might want to use with their child at home for fun and educational purposes. And I think it'll make a great bonding experience for you and your child, which, those moments are, you need to create more of those. Put down your cell phones and your tablets and, unplug yourself from the internet and spend some actual one-on-one bonding time with your children. You will definitely remember those times, and they will remember those times when they're older. So make sure you make some of those moments before it's too late. Alright, thanks. I'll see you in the next video.